started.
What do you mean?
I don't want to start it.
I'm sick. Leave me alone.
Oh, mate, I'm sick. Leave me alone.
For anyone who is wondering, Admin Alarman not only walked out of a Final Fantasy concert, orchestra, whatever you want to call it. He walked out on two of his mates coming all the way to Melbourne from Brisbane. The third nail in the coffin, he gave both of us the man flu. Not even... Damn. Not even actually the common cold. Blood tests, I had to get a frickin' thing stuck up my nose to do a swab from a place that I didn't even know existed.
But you do now, don't you?
Oh, and then they done a swab in my throat, and I was like, why didn't you just do that in the first place? You're just coming at the throat from all angles. Like, oh, man. And Chris had to go through absolutely the exact same... For some reason, I'm a day behind Chris. Maybe it's daylight savings or something. But he went through all this yesterday, got all the doctor's stuff, got the results back today. Influenza A.
He's got exactly what I had. I knew it.
You went to the doctor Sunday, influenza
Yes.
A, and I've been to the doctor today, and I've got the blood test and the nostril frickin' pap smear, and I don't know. They reckon it is influenza A, but we'll see. Oh.
Okay,
So I am not frickin' starting.
So after all that, you're not starting it. Welcome, gamers. This is episode 16. This is Larvin.
And this is Steve.
And
all right, come on, let's kick it off. What do you want?
What do you want?
You want to talk about the orchestra that you walked out of?
Okay.
Are we going to talk gaming first?
Well, I wanted to talk about gaming first, personally.
Well, it is both. So the orchestra was Final Fantasy music, so I think that's good enough. But yeah, go. All right, let's talk about gaming.
What have you been playing this week?
By playing, staring at the screen and just... What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, felt like I just... I don't know.
That's not gaming.
No, that's pretty much... That sums up my week of gaming. Little bit of Overwatch, not as much as what I wanted to do. It was very difficult to concentrate with such a toxic game while sick. So I went back to the trusty old Fire Emblem, just docked on the TV, pajamas on, and that's me done.
No, come on, man. I loved that guy when you were streaming. He was seriously giving you hell the whole way through the game.
You mean that little freaking kid?
He was like 12, and I reckon he was destroying you.
No, he was on my team.
Oh, that's even funnier, mate. He wouldn't shut up.
That's why I muted him. He was on my team. He's like, oh, the kids today, they had beers on the weekend. And you're like, oh.
Here we go.
Go back to Fortnite, son.
That's it. No, couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh. Yeah, see, I couldn't have someone in my ear like, actually, I do every week. Same thing. Yeah. All right. Well, some people wouldn't choose to have that anyway. But no. So, okay. So you did Overwatch.
Yep.
You did a little bit of TV. You're a little bit ill.
Mostly TV, truthfully. I've probably only done maybe an hour. Not even 1 hour of Overwatch maximum, I reckon. I didn't actually do much gaming per se when we were down in Melbourne. Well, visiting yourself. We more played some card games like Chocobo's Crystal Hunt. I can't remember what the other one's name was that Chris got.
That was the one I played with you. The Chocobo one, where you got the fat one and the thin one.
Yeah.
Or the how do you say it? Politically correct. The well-rounded one or the thin one?
Well-rounded Chocobo. He's had a big winter, that's all.
Yeah. So
not allowed to fat shame the Chocobos. No, well, for the listeners, truthfully, the easiest way to explain it is it's sort of like a glorified version of Go Fish. That's the
Yeah.
easiest, simplest way to explain it. Of course, there's different aspects to it, and you play a fat chocobo, and if you guess wrong, that's the end of your game. You get the card back. You play. Yeah, there's more to it. Obviously, it's like an adult version of Go Fish. But after you get to know it, like what did we have? We had 3 people. An average game, as long as you shuffled correctly, took 10, 15 minutes. There is 4 crystals.
Like I enjoyed it, and it was quite a pretty easy learning curve for it. Because I
Definitely.
know a couple of card games, they try and reinvent the wheel when you don't really have to.
Yep.
And I felt it was really quite an enjoyable game. We had a couple of games. I won all of them, of course, because
Oh,
I'm
I don't
the
think
best.
you actually played, let alone won any.
Excuse me, I played at least 2 of the games. I did lose, but I
I played.
retired
I'm
champion.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I won every one of them.
Yeah. It's funny how the dealer wins the game because he's
Yeah,
got all the cards.
yeah, luck. Well, I didn't. I didn't win at the casino. Uh,
Well, no, the casino always wins there, but anyway.
yeah, just for our listeners. Yes, that is true. Melbourne Crown. Goddamn blackjack. But
Another,
yeah. Well,
another
like that.
potential sponsor right there.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think they could afford to sponsor us.
No, that's it.
The Chocobo game, definitely. Truthfully, it's sort of a card game that I reckon I could get my non-gaming misses into. It's not like Chris's game that he bought. It was difficult for even me to understand. It's like, and then all of a sudden you're taking photos of cards, you're jumping on forums, asking what the wording actually means because, like Magic, I can read it like Magic the Gathering card. I can read it one way, you read it another. You got to ask an official to give you a ruling on it. And then it's like, and that's what this, like, you'd get rid of a room and then he would try to build that room exactly where it was. But for me, I was like, no, that's your most recent room. So I should go there. And it changes the whole dynamic of the game, literally, where you put that one card. And then all of a sudden it's like, so unless you have someone who is in the know, it was a difficult game.
Yeah, I
I'd
lasted about
recommend
2
it. Like,
minutes in that, then I just went, nah, going back
oh,
to bed.
oh,
My
we'll
influenza A was killing me by that
yeah,
stage.
we'll put some photos up on our Facebook, guys, Instagram, all that kind of jazz, and you can get it. The cool thing about Chris's one, I feel like if you got the expansion packs, because that was just a base game he got. There was about 6 expansion packs and different version releases. It play and you need the expansion packs when you get to 5, 6 people. I feel like that's when that game would really, really ramp up because all of a sudden it's like you're the easiest way to describe it is you are an enemy and you've got your own dungeon. Every player has his own dungeon, and you want to convince the heroes to come to your dungeon. But every round, the heroes get stronger. There's more heroes, and if they wipe you out, you lose. So if you want to lure them to you, you put down a certain card, but you have to be careful because then the other player can play his. You might get more heroes than what you're actually. Yes, you just tried to ding my phone, didn't you? Yes.
He's finally. It's only taken 16 episodes for him to finally realise.
Takes me to be on my deathbed, 4 different pops of freaking antibiotics to be like to outsmart you.
Oh, see, that's a really good compliment for me.
We're like Pinky in the Brain, obviously. On the
Yes, I'm
brain,
brain.
you're Pinky.
No.
I had to bring it down.
Oh, brain.
So yeah, I think definitely if it was me and the missus and some friends, something like that, even me and the kids, I reckon what you reckon you could get a 10-year-old, 7-year-old kind of age to work out that chocobo hunt. Like it is a difficult go fish, but they'd pick up the rules. You watch the kids these days with iPads and stuff, and they're freaking better than me.
But yeah, no, definitely the kids can pick it up. No, it's good. Yeah, as I said, I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. How much was it, by the way? I don't even remember how much you said they were.
35. It was 35 for the Chocobo Hunt, 35 for his.
Oh yeah. And where
And
did
like,
you actually get it from? EB or?
no, good game. Good game on, oh, I can't remember what street it was. Pretty much in the heart of Melbourne. Just just walking the streets. We every time we went to hop on a tram, we found a comic book store. Or the funny thing, I have to shout out to Melbourneites. It's a doorway, and you're like, oh, this place doesn't really seem like much, and all of a sudden you walk down a flight of stairs, and it's freaking 500 meters long. There's 19 rooms. You're like, what the hell's going? Like everything is just underground. It feels like a golem country.
Well, yeah, no, it's quite deceptive when you walk in. You're like, oh my god, this is going to be a dingy dive, and you're like, wow, some of them are
Yeah.
just absolutely massive. Yeah,
Like
like
one
even
we
the EB game store, it's like 3 stories.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
where we put the video up of the and then it's got the Nintendo top floor, so it's got their
yeah, yeah,
little gallery. Even though one of our listeners, mad keen eye listener, pointed out that they were missing two little consoles, the Donkey Kong one and the what was the other one? Popeye? No.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
Popeye.
yes. And that's the Game and Watch. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'd like to research that and
I'm actually
see if
looking at one up there. That's going to be a spontaneous purchase coming up soon. I know.
just like to see
I'm
if
just
it is
watching eBay.
uh, there's a reason why maybe they left it. Like, were they the publishers, but they didn't create it? Yeah, I don't know. It's
I'm not
just
really sure. I know the company. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'll have to look into that one because I know it was branded Nintendo.
yeah.
Uh,
But like, there's some things that you see come out by like Square Enix, but they're the distributor.
yeah, yeah.
It's
So that
not.
might have been a distributor. I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, because there was games that came out back in the day, and they had like a little Capcom symbol down the bottom right, but the previous games weren't because they bought the licensing and yeah, just random things like that. So yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, it's funny for them to have a very big Nintendo display and then not have them in it.
All right, I've taken a note. I'll make sure next podcast I'll definitely have the answer for the Game and Watch.
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent.
So what did
All
you
right,
do
good.
gaming this week?
Oh, so much gaming, so much sleeping, so much on death's bed. But no, no, I played. I actually picked up Spider-Man, swinging through the streets of New York. So I've had less than 24 hours, and I'm already 24% done. The majority of the side missions, and I've done basically nothing of the main game. But
Oh,
every time
really?
I do it, yeah, every time I do it, next like episode or next mission, main mission,
Yep.
then they give me more things to go around and collect. So I'm actually getting kind of annoyed. I'm like, I should have just done the main game and then done the side stuff all in one go.
The
But I always do that, even like Assassin's Creed, same thing. I do all the side stuff and then go, oh yeah, let's go back to the main game now.
the problem is like there's games that come out like Rage 2. You physically had to go the side quests because all they relied on you doing side quests because all of a sudden you finished the whole entire game in like 5 hours, 10 hours. You didn't have
Yeah,
any extra weapons, you didn't have upgrades. It's just like, boom. You're like, oh, what the
yeah,
hell?
yeah. So I think I don't know how big the game is. As I said, I'm up to I think I've just beaten the guy that pounds the ground. I can't Electrode. I think no
Uh,
Shockwave.
Shockwave,
Shockwave.
okay.
Yeah,
Can't remember.
Shockwave. Yeah, it's like the second guy. So you get him. I've taken out the Kingpin. Now I'm up to Shock. I've done Shockwave and then I've just onto something else. But I haven't done anything else past that, the main story. But as I said, like all the side missions, like taking photos of buildings. Now I'm doing research, buildings and things. All the side quests I want to try and finish first. But
Yeah.
I've started to realize that now I'm a bit overpowered as well.
Mm, yep.
So that's the thing that always happens in even like the Assassin's Creed game. If you do all the side quest stuff first, then the main game starts to become a bit too easy. But that's how I like it. That's how I pass. So it's sort of like cheap.
I think it's better being that way. I like to get a little bit overpowered for certain games like that, so that way I can enjoy the storyline more. Like I don't
Well, that's what I
have
was going to
to
say as
struggle.
well. Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say as well. So, the other game I was playing quite heavily as well was No Man's Sky. It looks good. The concept is good. I think it's maybe a little bit slow.
VR or normal?
VR's funny as. If you thought my driving was bad on the weekend, definitely don't get in the plane with me with VR. I took off and I just crashed straight into my house, and I'm like, well, that's just pointless. But it's quite a hard game. If you have an accident or crash a ship, and then you have to start again, and you have to repair the ship, and then go back and do everything again, sort of to get to that point. So, yeah, and it's a bit like Diablo as well. So you can actually pick up your body and get all your parts back that you've had, but you'll still have to actually repair the components on the ship that you've damaged in the accident.
Yeah.
So. But I just think it's a little bit slow. But I think that's maybe because I don't understand the mechanics of the game, like what stuff you need to progress through the game quicker. Because, yeah.
Well, they were just talking about it on Discord before, and the guys were back into me saying, yeah, come back. Like, everyone I talked to lately have all been saying it has turned into a good game.
Look, and I reckon it is.
And worth buying.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I've probably already done about 15 hours in it, and I'm up to like the third world. I don't know. Look, I think you need to really pay attention to what you're being told by people. And like, there's different aliens on the planets that you have to try and translate their language, and then you start to learn one word at a time, sort of thing. I don't know. Look, it's got a lot of promise, but it seems a little bit slow for me.
Yep.
As I said, I've still done 15 hours, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing it tonight anyway. So. That or Spider-Man. I think I want to finish Spider-Man now. So
yeah,
but no.
I would play Spider-Man.
All right. The other game I played, just started playing, Final Fantasy.
Ding 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 ding. We have a winner. How good is it?
So Final Fantasy 15. Okay, so I've played probably 20 minutes.
Yep.
So I've seen the king. I've seen some fiery dude on a throne. What else did I do?
Fiery dude on a throne. You obviously mean Ifrit.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Of course, Ifrit, because I would know that name.
Well, everyone does.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, no, I didn't. I saw the fiery dude. I saw them pushing a car. Well, actually, I didn't see. I had to push a car along a road.
Yep.
You know what? There was actually a lot of satisfaction out of pushing that car.
Yeah.
Just hearing them talk and whinging.
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh my God, it sounds like I'm in the car with Steve.
That's the problem we'd have with you. Trying to push a car. That much whinging. That's how. But I'd rather be pushing a car than in the car with you driving. For any of our listeners, Michael's obviously a nice guy. I'm friends with him. That aside, absolutely.
Let me down gently.
Letting him down gently, unlike his driving, which puts you 6 foot under. He has to be physically the worst driver I've ever seen in my life, and I spent 2 months in Thailand.
Well, they're better than me.
Oh, undoubtedly.
I cannot believe that at all. I reckon my driving was perfect. You did get to the destination on time. You did get to the airport on time. I did pick you up from the airport on time.
Yeah. Oh, no, we did.
So I was punctual.
Punctual, yes. You pay your taxes, so you get all 3 lanes. Yes, I understand.
Well, they are my lanes. I pay for it.
Makes sense. It does.
Yes, that's it. All right. Someone else. What about some spontaneous purchases?
Well, I didn't really. Well, I done that one purchase down at Distant Worlds, the shirt and the. What would you call that book I got? It's. I guess you'd call it a
Is it
smaller.
rubbish? Is that what you call
Well, it depends on definition of rubbish.
it? No. What was it?
Like, yeah, I'd probably call it a light version of an art book.
Oh, okay.
It's got some write-ups. Hang on, I've got it. I'm sitting in my game room. 1 second. Let's pull it on down. Oh, jeez. Now, I have to say, this is a genuine Square Enix bit of memorabilia. So for myself, that's enormous. Like, it's got photos in it of Arnie Roth, Nobuo, like everyone. When it comes to music and Final Fantasy, it's got them in there. Then it starts. It literally just shows you. It's a quick write-up, like 2 pages. It's Final Fantasy. Then the next one, Final Fantasy 2. Next one, Final Fantasy, and it keeps going. It's got just a 2-page write-up on them. Talks about the music, talks about what it was released at. It's got some artwork, so like that appeals massively for me. Oh, it's not. Oh, I just realised the center page of the whole book. They've done this on purpose. It is not Final Fantasy VII. The center of the whole entire book is Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, scumbags. It should have been 7.
Why?
Well, 7 is the center of the universe, obviously. Now, it goes obviously all the way up.
Obviously. Like, because everyone knows number 7 is the universe. I don't understand how it is, but are you talking in, like, game timelines, or...
No, just in world general. Like if you were like North Korea, South Korea, gonna shake hands, Donald Trump kind of thing, they'd go in there with like, here's a 10 out of 10 PSA rated copy of Final Fantasy VII. And North Korea would be like, oh, here's our nuke codes.
Mate, world peace with Final Fantasy. I love it.
That's literally, if I was gonna be a one of them chicks, world peace. That's what I'd be saying. Take Final Fantasy VII. Done. Give her the crown. It compared to the book that we got this week from Pixel Crib. Like, obviously, our gamers saw on Sunday. Came home from Melbourne to a box sitting on my front patio, and the box sitting on the front patio was from Pixel Crib. We done a box opening and everything like that. That book that I was just talking about, that artwork book from Square Enix, like, it is a genuine piece of Square Enix gear. Yes, the prices aren't identical. The Square Enix one is a quarter of the price, but truthfully, you get 10 times the amount with the Pixel Crib book. Like, it's 220 pages. They're like A3 sizes. Yeah, I feel like in this situation, you really get what you paid for. And with I wish I could have gotten the VIP for Final Fantasy and got that book signed. That's what I might even take Pixel Crib's one and try to get it freaking signed if it didn't weigh so much, or take my baggage over on the plane.
It did look like a really nice book, though.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable. So I'm not going to go too deep in it. I've been trying to troll through the book the last couple of days. I don't want to rush it. It is something like, literally, I've looked through the book, I reckon, half a dozen times. Some quick, some slow, but I've looked through the book half a dozen times, and every single time I go to look back through the book, I find something new. Like, I found some pages in it today that are like trace paper, and they've got sketches on them, and just like, there's some pages where, because it's silk paper, the colors, like the magenta is majestic. That's as deep and I'll ever go. I meant to say the purple is really nice. That's probably the easiest way to explain it. But just the colours on the pages. Yeah, I'm leaving it. Let's do a full review on Pixel Crib another time.
Cool.
Spontaneous purchases, shirt and a book.
Excellent. Well, because I was obviously sitting in the car park, and eBay was calling my name, so then I opened up little eBay, and I've now picked up a Virtual Boy Mario tennis game as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you know how I said I was going to keep it and just keep it boxed and not use it? Well, that's not going to happen. I can't have something and not use it. I'm not one of those collectors that can have it sealed, and if it's there, I want to be able to use it at least once and go, okay, I've used it, now put it back in the box and keep it nice. So, yeah, so now I've got that coming as well as the VR unit. And the VR unit should be here Friday. I'm home Friday, so I'm going to get to the post box.
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
So there is a God.
He's seeing you sprinting up the drive. Where are you going, Michael? I'm going for a jog.
Yeah.
You haven't jogged for 18 years. Oh no, something's up. I'm going for a drive. That's better.
That's it, exactly. I'm going for a drive. So, but yeah. So that was my spontaneous purchase. So I can't wait for that to come in. That's it for no other purchases this week. I've tried to lay it a bit low, since we've still got things coming. What else? What else did we do? What did you come to Melbourne for?
Distant Worlds, not to hang out with you and to go to comic book shops.
Okay.
Achieved all three.
Achieved all three. Okay, cool.
New games. What's coming out? You got any pre-orders? I pre-ordered Borderlands 3. I got the mask. I'm going to be wearing the mask.
And I haven't seen you wear it.
No, I'm saving it. I'll show you it.
Yes.
It's still in the plastic.
Oh, it's in the plastic.
Do I ever take it out? Yep, hang on. Do I put it on?
No.
No? Alright. No, stuff you then. I won't.
Yeah. So, games out this week. So, I'll save the best for last. We'll start off with Blair Witch. Move on. Move on. Well, it's coming out this week, so it's
I'm
on.
as excited for that game I'm as excited for Blair Witch as I am being 11,778 people deep in the queue for World of Warcraft Classic. That's how excited I am.
You sound very excited. All right. You sound very excited. Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey, that's coming out. That's the ape one, the one that you said looked like me playing with.
I don't believe I ever said that.
Well, maybe I said it.
Apes have a lot more hair than you. Oh, actually, maybe I did. Maybe I said you looked like a bald ape. Because that's the only part they're beating you.
Oh, no. But yeah, that looks pretty cool, so I'm going to have to get that. But that doesn't come out to December on the consoles, but it's out in PC now, so today. All right, cool. So the next one is Control. That's the one using telekinesis, the one that I told you about the other week. That looks freaking sick.
Oh, yeah? Is that on Steam or?
That's on PS4. I'm too sick to fight with you. It's coming out on PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, so that's going to be really cool. What about, now here's one that I can't even pronounce, and I'm definitely going to stuff up the name. All right, so Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, remastered.
Yep. Remastered, yes.
It actually came out on the 20th of September.
Yeah, last week, yeah. I wanted to get it, and the reason why I didn't was because obviously I was coming down to Melbourne. That game, I think it's by Level 5 is the studio. That game surprised me. It was I just saw it and I was like, I can't remember whether it was out when Borderlands 2 was out, or there was something that lured me to the artwork of it. And I was like, oh, man, I got nothing else to play. Stuff it. I'll get that. I loved it. I absolutely smashed that game. And then number 2, what was it? Ni no Kunai Wrath of the White Witch was the first one. Oh, I've got it here. Wonder where it's hiding. But number 2 was even better. I smashed that. It was I definitely recommend that game.
Domination of the Dark Din? Dijin?
Oh, Djinn. Isn't that what a devil or something is called in a certain...
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That was
thank
on the
you.
Nintendo. That was on... No, that's the one. That's the original one on DS. Came out in 2010.
What?
Ni no Kuno, Wrath of the White Witch, is a role-playing video game developed by Level 5.
Yeah,
It was released for PlayStation 3 in Japan in 2011, published by Western Regions by Namco Bandai Games in January 2013. The game was released on Nintendo Switch in September 2019, alongside the remastered version on Windows PlayStation 4. The game is a significantly enhanced version of Ni no Kunai Dominion of the Dark Din, which originally was released in the DS in Japan in December 2000.
When you said the name, I thought you were quoting the name of number 2, which was Revenant.
No.
Revenant Kingdoms was its name.
No. Yeah, sorry, I was just referring back to
number 2. I just quickly looked it up. It got a 9 out of 10 on Steam, 9 out of 10 on Polygon, 90% on PC Gamer, 92% like this video game on Google users. It was, PS4.
So it's pretty solid numbers.
Yeah, it was. I feel like they really took what number 1 was good at, and then they chucked in like a town builder. You could recruit people from around the world to help build it. Yeah, I definitely reckon they done a very good job with number 2.
I was just testing to see if the dig worked. It didn't work. You've still got it on silent. Anyway.
You didn't send that to me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, there it comes. It just popped through.
Yeah, no, cool. Okay, the next one. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. September 3.
I wanted to talk about Final Fantasy VIII. I'm a little upset. Mostly because... Like, 8 wasn't my favorite. It definitely goes 7, 10... Then it's debatable between 12 and 15. Like that, you know what I mean? They're all in there. Then 6, and I chop around. Like 8, maybe in my top 5 at the best of days. But yeah, it's not a Final Fantasy that I have strong feelings towards. I'll play it. I want to do a playthrough for our page. I want to do a review for our page. But yeah, I've got plenty of other games that I would gladly play and review beforehand. It's more, I'm upset because it's digital only. They're not bringing out a hard copy like they just did with Final Fantasy X. Even though it came Final Fantasy X and 10-2. 10-2 was a digital download, but 10 was a cartridge for the Switch. Like I'm devo that they done that. I would have loved a physical copy for the Switch because I would have bought it. Like they're bringing out the Collection of Mana. That's 20 years older. Like, and they're bringing that out as a hard copy. So why not bring out FF8? It's just that's when I feel like it is a true money grab because they've already got it there. They're just like we done the work to it. Boom, we put it over and away we go.
All right, cool. So, we've actually got a guest with us now.
Hey, gents.
Hello. How are you feeling?
Certain special someone may have given me the flu, so I've seen better days.
I told you. The only reason I went to your room is because Stephen locked the door.
After.
Sharing the love. Welcome, Chris. We got you onto this lovely podcast of ours to discuss what we did on the weekend, and I think you call it Distant Worlds.
Yes.
Okay,
The,
so I'll tell them my
orchestra
part of it.
recreation of-
Yeah, okay.
What's
You go.
your side of it?
My side? Well, I saw half of it. It was fantastic. And then I left. I'm not a Final Fantasy fan. I've made that quite obvious to everybody. I've never played a game until today, which I really can't say that anymore, which is kind of sad. But like Final Fantasy is a franchise, so I've never played many of their games except for that. So I don't know any of the storyline. I haven't got the nostalgia for some of the songs and that. There's a couple of the songs which I thought was quite funny that I actually knew that they were playing. But overall, watching the cinematics, listening to the live orchestra, it was the thing that made me go out and actually buy Final Fantasy 15. And let me tell you again, Stand By Me on Final Fantasy 15 at the start, I thought was fantastic.
You were actually there to hear that live too, weren't you?
Yeah, so unreal. Absolutely unreal for me. But anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about you. How'd you go?
No, it was good. Obviously, Steve and myself, we flew down from Queensland down to Melbourne, and we went and saw it. And no, it was exactly as good as I'd expected it to be. I'd seen A New World, which is the smaller basis of the same concept, just in a bit of a different song base. I saw that end of last year up here in Brisbane, and that was fantastic. Biggest difference was that A Distant World had the projector screen behind it, and they'd played different cinematics. They had essentially it was an AMV with live music, and it was fantastic. Like the cinematics of choice, they've even showed gameplay. Like it was great. You reckon the screen?
Yeah, truthfully, I think that was enough. That was enough to pull like your attention in for the whole entire 2 hours. Like you didn't blink an eye because it's just boom, boom, boom. Like showing older like videos and from games, and I swear they've remastered some of them and used some of the Japanese cinematics because I didn't recognize some, but yeah, loved it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think there were a few that were remastered, or at least maybe have been released on other consoles that I haven't touched base on. But no, it was fantastic. It was absolutely great, and I would definitely do it again. The only bummer I'd probably say is that No Boy wasn't there, who's the major composer. But in saying that, his 2IC was, so I can't really complain too much.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So one thing I was really surprised about is the crowd as well. The crowd
You weren't expecting to see it that busy?
Yeah, a little bit. I was expecting just to be the only one sitting in the cinema with you two, going, "Oh my God, this is going to be a long 2 hours, or long 1 hour, whichever I stayed for." But no, just the group, the whole audience, like that, they were so respectful to the orchestra. They kept quiet. I was sitting next to people that I don't even know, and they're like, I've never seen people so excited in my life to hear a song about a game. And I'm thinking, oh, but hang on, if it was a Zelda game or something like that, I'd be jumping up and going down, I can't believe they're playing my favorite song or something like that. But I don't know if I'd actually do it for a Zelda song even. But they were so, I don't know, just because the nostalgia must have overtaken these poor guys next to me and in front. I reckon, I don't know. But they loved it. So it was really cool to see.
The nostalgia game is strong.
But I like where Steve was sitting. He had the best seat of the night, really.
Oh, old mate's freaking afro.
in front of Mr. IT crowd in front of him, didn't he?
It was what, 1,000 freaking inch projector screen. I was missing half of it.
I couldn't believe it. Everybody on site, everyone except for that one guy, was like, I'm not going to say midgets, but they were smallish. So you could see easily over their heads. And then when the guy sat down in front of Steve, I just fell apart. I'm just like, that's brilliant. Perfect seating arrangement. And
I was quite upset.
Yeah.
That's all right. You and me both, mate. You got a bit of me as well.
Yeah. So which part of the actual whole night do you reckon was the best? The first half or the second? I can't really comment because I only saw half, so...
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. I'm probably
I feel like
first.
they played more Final Fantasy VII songs in the second half,
I think they
but
did.
they really rolled it all together so well. Like they're just some like Xanakin for me, Final Fantasy X. That's
Oh,
got to be on a playlist for me. The Cosmo Canyon, they've only recently added that. That hasn't been a play for the full 13 years. That I even found myself tapping my foot for that one.
Tapping your foot.
Yeah, like
you and me both, mate. We both were.
yeah,
Oh,
it's a very like it's a lot more catchy. Like you know what I mean. It's got the drums. It's got like the other ones. It's a 100-piece orchestra. You can feel the music.
the
This
atmosphere is amazing.
yeah. This one it was like yeah, it was just fun. Is the best way to explain it. Yeah, it's just and also fun mixed in with the nostalgia of Cosmo Canyon, walking in with Red 13 the first time, or Nanaki as you end up knowing him, and just going through it all. And yeah.
So it actually takes you back to actually playing those levels or that
Oh,
part of the game, doesn't it? Really?
100%.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of story alone, like outside of the big Aerith thing in 7. Probably Cosmo Canyon's probably the second biggest heartstring of the game.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they showed Cedo crying. Like, yeah, they definitely really. I just think they done it so well. For someone who I've played all the games, I've listened to the music. I used to actually listen to certain music when I was writing a book, like when I want to, it's something that you learn, like when you want to do an emotional, sad scene, you listen to sad music. You want to do a killing scene, you listen to Rob Zombie and metal causes deaths. But no, and it's like you want to do a suspenseful scene and you listen to One Winged Angel and stuff like that. Like for me, that's massive. And then, but to see it live, like I think most people have seen our YouTube channel, they've probably noticed by now I'm not much of an orchestra or a suit wearing kind of guy. So to go to that, being out of your comfort zone, I'd go again. If they come back next year, the only difference I will do next year is I will get VIP and I'll take me freaking book with me and try to get a signature.
And you probably won't go anywhere near me in case I've got the man flu.
Also that. You're not invited.
I'm not
That too.
invited. No. Look, as I said, I've never gone to anything like that before, like with any gaming orchestras. I never knew there was such a thing that you could go to. And I maybe think there is a market there for people wanting to go to things like that, because it did make me come back and think, well, hang on, do they do a Zelda one? Because I would actually like to hear
Yep.
a Zelda orchestra. Like I know in Breath of the no. Skyward Sword, they actually used an orchestra to do majority of those songs.
Yep.
Of the music, sorry, not the songs, but the music. So imagine hearing that live in person. Like it's just mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. But yeah, no suit and tie for me either. That's not for me.
I don't know if you saw any of it actually, Michael. Steve and I caught a couple. There were a few cosplayers there. Did you manage to see any of them? Not that you probably recognise them.
Yeah, no. I recognised one guy. He's got like a leather belt thingy and sort of like, yeah. How do you describe him? Leather jacket, like a belt, black belt, like with bullet. You put, I don't know. English me good. Someone help me who I'm talking.
Was that
about.
in the main lobby?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the
right,
cloud one, wasn't it? The one that I'm apparently too blind to see.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you said that a lot more politically correct than what Steve said on the night. But yeah, that one.
I was looking for the shoulder pad, mate. He didn't have it.
He had absolutely everything.
I don't recall seeing the shoulder pad.
He had a makeup scar painted onto his face.
You missed it.
Didn't
It
see
was
it.
right in front. No.
I'm just being ignorant.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but see, even that was cool. Like, I like seeing the cosplayers and that. And I know definitely in.
The Tifa cosplayer.
I didn't see her.
She did a good job. She was as everyone was leaving, she
Saw
was at the
her.
staircase.
Yeah. See Tifa over Squall pretty quickly.
Oh,
No wonder why.
Oh,
damn.
was there any other ones that I missed? So you got
There
the
was
Cloud.
nah. I don't know. I can't remember. Like it was Squall and Tifa were the two definite standouts. Like I think there was some people sort of dressed up, but they
There were some
were
majors.
they were both very identical, like to the actual cosplay.
But no, I thought it was a really good evening, except for being really, really sick and having to go sleep in the car, which was lovely. WOW Classic. So, World of Warcraft Classic next, guys.
Oh, the
Yeah.
queues, the wait times.
Yeah, how's that going for you, Steve? Have you actually got in yet? Actually,
Nah.
I'm surprised. No, you haven't because you're still talking to me on a podcast.
Nah, not
So
yet. Well, I had to log off. I tried. It got to. Oh, I think I got it down when I just went for a walk. I got down to like 200 in the queue from 10,000, and then I
Why
went
did
for
you go for a walk?
well, I went for a walk, and then the service crashed anyway, and everyone had to rejoin all the servers. So if you were like later on in the list, you got pushed right to the front. But if you're already in there, you got kicked off. So I would have been
I reckon
stuffed
they
in
did that on
anyway,
purpose. So I
just to
reckon they
keep
would have done it on
rolling people
purpose.
through.
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
Yeah, I thought that too.
What do you mean? Just what, kicking people?
Yeah, just
People
to
would have
like
been there first off the bat in the morning, just to sort of say, well, you've been waiting all day, we'll give you a crack. So the people that were in queue just get straight in, and the people that were already in the game have to load back out again.
yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
there was one guy already nearly level 20.
That's CG, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
See, that's crazy in one day. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's some heavy grinding. Like one of the other fellas, what he got on literally at 8, right on 8, and then he was playing till when did I go for a walk? 4, and he had played all day. So, yeah, it is half good that he got kicked because it gives other people a chance to play.
Yeah, well, but you know what? Like, why don't they? Like, as I said this the other day about their servers. I knew their servers wouldn't be able to handle it because that's why we're going to have to put wait times. Like, why don't they have the service there? Like, even rent them for the first month at a massive amount. Who cares?
It's a
They
big
know.
thing to re-roll service. It's a hell of a lot easier to have one server and add 2 than it is to start off at 2 and re-roll information back to 1. So they have been closing servers over the last couple of years, World of Warcraft, as their subs slowly dwindle. They have been closing servers, but yeah, I truthfully knew one PvP server and one PvE server for Oceanic was ridiculous.
Oh, it was always going to be ridiculous. I think they... Did you read the post about the second server that they opened, what their plan is for it?
No.
So it's it's obviously they opened it. I don't know if you're aware, Michael. Originally, that was just one PvE and one PvP.
Yep.
And the PvP one has just been sledged. Like it's got the entire player base on it. Pretty much everyone that plays the game just about plays, like probably 80%, 90% do PvP servers. And they opened up a secondary PvP server. But what they didn't exactly keep everyone informed about, and you had to sort of look for it, was that they're opening up. The intention was to open up that server to sort of keep things more streamlined up until obviously the day 1, week 1, month 1 release, etc. So the wait times and that sort of cease.
Yep.
And then their plan apparently is to eventually bring that server back in and merge it. Or how they have in retail, they've got they'll have cross servers, so you'll be on Nagrand or Kael'Straz, but you end up being, it's like a mixed server where it's Nagrand - Kael'Straz. So it's like 2 separate servers, but they integrate with each other pretty seamlessly. And from what what I managed to read on a couple of forum posts and some blue posts was that's the intention apparently. So it's not going to be it's not intended to be a full-time thing.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I wouldn't mind it doing that as long as you can play the game, because I won't load something up and go, okay, I've got to wait for people just to get out of the game or whatever to be in a queue. I hate queues. I don't go to the queues for anything anymore. I pay everything online.
Grab.
No, I do not use queues. I hate queues and I won't line up.
There's some jokes going on at the moment about Classic, about it's the professional queue simulator, because the original Classic was you killed something or you do a quest. The quest giver disappears for 15 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
While you wait. Oh well, that's what I just did. Yeah, it disappears for 10 or so minutes and then it comes back again. So there's legitimately people queuing up in game, like over a massive line, just to sort of do the quests and get all the content done. I'll see if I can find a photo of it and I'll post it to you. But it's a literal thing, like lines of 20 to 30 to 40 people just
no way
lining up to play the game.
No. And that's why I said the other week as well. I'm not going to be playing it the first week, maybe even the second week. I'll wait for the queues to go because Steve will still be whinging about it next week and the week after anyway. So I'll hear from him. And if he says it's fine, well, then I'll jump on because I do want to play it. I never actually played the original. But yeah, I just can't do queues. That just would send me nuts. And I wouldn't like the game then. I wouldn't go back to it. So I'll rule with you.
That was why I jumped over onto the other server just to have a muck around. I know a lot of people didn't want to because their mates are on that server, and I get that. It was more just to have a feel of, because I played vanilla back in the day. I don't even think I actually played a single release of a expansion. So for me, this is the original game I played. So it's been years. So I was like, I might just jump on the other server and have a quick play. And
that photo is crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
So they're actually queuing in game.
In game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
man, I would so be pushing to the front of that queue. Wouldn't you?
Oh, guaranteed.
I would really be pushing in front. That is crazy. That is just mental. No, I would be.
It's it is what it is. It's people wanted the classic experience, and they've I've got to give it to Blizzard. They've managed to stay true to their word, and they've kept all the quality of life changes that they brought into the game over time. Yeah. They got rid of them all. There's no such thing anymore. It's just
Oh, that's unreal.
It's the original.
So how long would they be waiting for if they disappear? What? So everyone 15 minutes they have to wait.
I'll quit.
I don't know how long. I don't know if it's 15 minutes, but yeah, it's definitely a while.
That I've never queued in the game.
Definitely quite some time.
I'm going to put that photo on our Facebook page. There's 22 people in that queue. If they're waiting even 5 minutes, that's mental.
I've never queued for anything in game in WoW. Everyone, I've seen it where you can barely see the quest giver because they're so surrounded by people. Eventually you can get to them. But yeah, I've never queued like that. I've never seen a queue. That's for certain. I just run straight to the front. If that was a queue in the game, I won't be playing it.
Oh, that's funny. I love it. Oh.
I imagine that a lot of that's day one stuff, but it'll probably be there for the first week or two because at the moment, you've got a fresh server where online gaming's more open than it's ever been, and so there's a lot more people on it, a lot more people having access to day one off the bat. Yeah. So the influx versus what it was previously is probably massive. So it'll die down. You just got to give it a bit because obviously everyone's starting off with a fresh slate. Everyone's starting off level 1, so it's all just massive. I got to ask you about that, Michael. How was your 15 experience, mate?
This is the first part of the podcast. It was actually really good so far. So I liked pushing the car. I've killed the scorpion things. I wanted to say it before and I forgot about it. So the one thing I don't know if I like about it is, where does your sword go?
It obviously it just disappears. That's his special skill. He can.
But even
it's a magical sword. He can pull them in.
Yeah. See. Okay. And everyone else has a magical sword, or they have actual weapons?
Most of them
I
have
haven't paid attention.
Most of them have actual weapons, but it is a tied power to the king's ring
Okay.
and the family line.
Okay, well, don't ruin any more of the game, but yeah, that was the one thing that I thought at the start. I'm like, I really wanted to see him running around, because Final Fantasy, what I've seen of it, you see that big, massive blade that's like a mile long that I don't know who carries. I think Cloud. Am I right? Yeah, maybe
Sephiroth. Washing pole. Or
Sephiroth.
Is his the Murasama or Murasame?
Oh, Masamune.
Masamune, that's it.
There's
so
always
many
been
iterations of the same name.
Well, there's always been arguments because one of the swords doesn't reveal blood. That was always, it's got a certain name, but then the other name means like a bloodless sword, and that's why they reckon there was no blood when he killed Aerith. Sorry about that.
If you just ruined part of the game, I'm gonna come and kill you.
No, I'm talking about Final Fantasy VII now.
Ah, okay. I got no idea.
Yeah, so that's why they were saying there was no blood. But when you actually talk to the director and that they were trying to get away with their licensing to keep it like M or PG, whatever it was at the time, so they had to not show blood. So it is the sword what it's named, but there's always conspiracy theorists of that it wasn't any blood, so it should actually be the Masamune instead of the Marasumi and all this kind of stuff. They're all Japanese legendary swords, obviously.
Yeah,
it's a washing
really
pole.
Good so far. It's a washing pole. I liked it. But no, so it's good so far. I've done about 20 minutes, and that's about it. So, but it looks good. The character design is phenomenal. I met the grandfather's daughter at the car wrecker place to fix my car.
Oh, Sid.
Yeah.
Sid's daughter. Oh no, Sid is actually the girl in this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's one thing that you won't know yet, Michael. So there's a few names that you'll endlessly find through nearly every single Final Fantasy, and Sid is one of them.
Yep.
Biggs and Wedge, I think. When were Biggs and Wedge introduced? In 3?
Yeah, 3.
Yep. Sid, Biggs and Wedge,
Gilgamesh. There's a couple of little ones who have popped up, but I think Sid is the highest used name in all of them.
Okay.
But yeah, Sid in this iteration is quite attractive. The best way to explain. Like, if she was my mechanic at home,
She'd be doing a lot of mechanical work all the
my
time.
car would be breaking down every day.
Self-inflicted breakdowns. I love it.
I'd let you drive my car.
No, well, that's my gaming week. I'm done.
Oh, well, wrap it up. Nah. Yeah, truthfully, I think that's about it. Like, what games? I wanted to talk about WoW Classic, Final Fantasy VIII. I talked about the remaster being only freaking digital, which has upset me.
Oh, is that only a digital release?
Yeah. Yep. Square Enix announced it last week, I think it was, saying, yeah, it's only a digital release.
Dirty dogs.
But that's what I was saying to Michael. They're releasing the Collection of Mana, and it's a physical release.
But just maybe they might have it contracted out, so it might be like one of the limited run maybe might do it, or
no, it is from Square Enix. They're releasing it. It's just they just literally probably didn't want to spend money because obviously the physical side of things costs more than the digital side of things, so they just wanted a quick slap, boom, done.
Get it in, get it out, make some coin.
Yeah, which, I get to download it onto my Switch, then so be it. I'll download it onto my Switch.
At least that's one advantage, though. Is wait, so it is coming out on Switch.
Yes.
I actually haven't followed 8 too much. I really should because it's one of my favorites. So obviously it's all platforms. Then if they're putting it on Switch,
I haven't seen about Xbox actually. Xbox might not be powerful enough to run it. Nothing. Nothing?
Nothing at all.
Nothing from you, Michael?
No, man, I'm converted, mate. I'm Mr. VR PlayStation, man. I can't say nothing. Xbox, you're dead to me. Puh.
Oh, shots fired.
No way, no way. Oh,
But no, it
Xbox
is. It's
might be more powerful.
Xbox, Switch, PS4, all on, and I'd expect Steam. Oh, it's already on Steam, actually. Oh,
it's on
actually,
Steam.
is it?
Is it on
It's no
pre-release?
FF8 is, but I don't know. They're obviously the remaster's not, but yeah, it'll be on Xbox One, PS4, and Switch on 3rd of September.
A
Oh,
bit more of gaming news.
Oh!
I just
What?
thought of it.
what happened?
PlayStation is looking to release games on PC.
Yeah, I'm not really that keen on that.
Ugh.
I don't understand that.
Well, it just gets rid of your exclusives.
Yeah, but them
PlayStation.
exclusives are made solely, they're coded, they're written, they're created to be the best of what that console is giving us. Like, I
Yeah,
don't,
I think they're just trying to combat Stadia.
that'll all, no one's trying to combat Stadia, freaking combat Stadia. Stadia's trying to combat with a rubbish bin. That's
No. But
combat.
anyway, no. We'll have that argument another day. Don't worry. But oh no. All right.
Oh, all right, well, I think that's about it, eh?
I think that's it. Thank you, Chris, for joining us.
Yes.
That's
Later.
right. Apologies for being late.
No, that's all right. I hope you feel better soon.
Oh, I hope we all do.
Yeah,
Big
just rest.
podcast. I'm sick of death right now, so
That's
it,
it.
It does serve us right for recording 3 dudes, 1 cup.
yeah. Well, someone said we couldn't do it. We had to prove them otherwise.
That's it. That's it.
Worth it.
All right, guys, just make sure you like, subscribe, and share this podcast to any gamers out there. And remember, it'll never be game over.
Gamer's got a game.